I'm Shannon Bradley, and I'm in this area right now looking at this guest house operation and the ministry that's associated with it as we continue to raise funds and seek the right personnel to take over this ministry as the current owners and ministry operators retire.
My name is Tony. I'm 57 years old. We've lived in this guest house for about 13 years. The people group in the area where we live now, the reason why we live here basically is because I was praying for them for years and learning about them, and I had to come and see them. It was kind of love at first sight.
When we moved in this house, we did not plan at all to start a guest house, but it slowly happened. Whoever came up here and they wanted to see the place or get to know people and asked where shall we stay, then everybody said, oh, Tony and Lali's house, and so we called it a guest house.
About 6 years ago, Tony and Lali met our workers in the area and they became friends, and more recently, Tony and Lali were describing their desire to hand this ministry and business off and to have someone else assume that and keep running to see where God would take it in the future. It seemed great alignment between Avant and our workers in the region and Tony and Lali and their business and their vision for the ministry in the future.
We're thinking about selling the guest house to people who can take it beyond what we've been able to do. And one of the local members decided, okay, I've heard this more than once now, and we started negotiating about the possibility of buying the place and taking it to that next level, what that would look like. We want to see things grow ministry-wise here.
We're very excited about the potential of this ministry and this location. The guest house is located next to a world-famous trail where tourists come from all over the world to appreciate the beauty of God's creation. Perhaps even more exciting than that is that the guest house is right in the middle of an unengaged, unreached people group. And so this gives us not only access to that, but indeed there is already a work started here that we'll be assuming and continuing to invest in for the glory of God among those who have not heard Jesus' name.
When we came here, there was not any shop in the village that people needed some things to buy, and then we decided to start a small shop and to see how it could work. But it was not only social support, like people used to come here and then share their daily lives, and then we often pray for them.
We also are very excited about the local Bible study that's occurring already in the café that's not yet completed. Will continue to grow and flourish, that God would lead a church to be planted here, and that church, of course, would be locally led and would be multiplying, and we would see God's name and His church spread throughout this region and throughout these people groups.
We are wanting to see a church that worships in its own language, in its own culture, that people can come to and feel, this is where I and my culture get fulfilled. We want to see them writing new songs and starting a new church in their way, that's theirs, and they can say, this is us, this is ours, and Jesus is ours.
There are several ways you can get involved, and of course, the first thing we think about is prayer. We're continuing to raise funds to purchase these properties. We've already seen God provide about 20% of the funds that are needed, and we welcome your prayers as we raise the additional 80%.